In other news, Lubbock Congressman Jody Arrington has introduced a new act honoring an active duty Lubbock soldier after he lost his life in 2020.
The new legislation honors Private Second Class Caleb Smitty Smither, who died at Fort Bragg, North Carolina in 2020. He suffered a head injury and returned to his barracks while ill. Despite multiple medical visits in the days leading up to his death, no one physically checked on Smither, and he was not discovered until 5 days later.
Arrington previously secured reforms honoring Smither by directing the Army to report to Congress on the enforcement of a new protocol called the Smitty Check. It required leadership to monitor service members following injury or illness, strengthening accountability for their welfare. The Smitty Check Act would expand those safeguards across the entire Department of War, establishing a standardized expectation for in-person wellness checks across all branches of the armed forces.
Arrington said the act will provide, quote, a clear standard of in-person verification when a service member is injured, ill, or on sick call, ensuring no soldier is ever left unaccountable.